wrestling fans. My name is Brian Crazy.
JC Styles.
And we are the F brand of wrestling and entertainment here on YouTube.com. We are back with our Extreme Rules 2012 review. Before we begin, please check out the official website of the F brand at FightNationWrestling.com. Please also check us out on Twitter. The links will be provided in the description box below.
Yes, where we will be providing tweets throughout the shows on Monday night pay-per-views and on Friday night SmackDowns. So be sure that you are logged into Twitter every Monday, Friday, and on pay-per-view nights.
Exactly. A great way to interact with the F brand. Another way we can try to provide another way to turn this into a full experience. Not only do you get to just hear us shoot our thoughts, we also get to involve you guys, the fans. That's what makes it so great. So we start off the show, 7:30 pre-show, live on YouTube. Santino Marella, the defending United States champion, goes one-on-one against The Miz.
It was a great match for a pre-show. You know, a lot of people back in the day remember the free-for-all. It was almost something similar to that. The match was about, I want to say, less than 10 minutes. A good, solid contest. I was kind of expecting to see The Miz pick up the win. He has been doing very well storyline-wise since WrestleMania. And it would have been kind of cool to see him, but I'm not disappointed with Santino retaining as well.
Yeah, Santino's a great talent. I really like that they've taken from being just a pure talent that was just focused on comedy segments, and they've actually turned him back into a solid in-ring worker. He is a good United States champion, and like JC said, The Miz has been on a roll since WrestleMania. I would have liked to see The Miz pick up the title, but that wasn't the case. It was a solid match. I would have liked to see it go a little bit longer, but nonetheless, I did enjoy it. Then we go into the first match of the pay-per-view.
Yes, we see the Viper Randy Orton against the Big Red Monster Kane. Now, a lot of people were going into this match saying, oh, well, this match is going to be kind of boring. It's going to be dull. You know, Orton is the same old Borton, you know, and just, you know, basically lashing out at the superstars before the match even started. And to be honest, the match was actually stellar. Definitely some good spots. Especially the finish of the match, we saw Randy Orton hit the RKO on the steel chair, which, if you looked at it, Kane made no contact. He really didn't sell the RKO as well as he normally would. But all in all, it was a great match. I enjoyed the outcome. And what's next for Kane?
Exactly. What is next for Kane? I mean, he picked up the big win at WrestleMania. He lost at Extreme Rules versus John Cena. And that was the same kind of question that I was posing about John Cena later in the night. We'll get to that. But John Cena lost to The Rock. If he lost to Brock Lesnar, what would be left for John Cena? Where would that put him? And exactly, where does this put Kane? I mean, he did win at the biggest show of them all. He does have a loss against Randy Orton, so they're 1-1 right now in pay-per-view. Exactly. But you remember a few weeks back, Randy Orton did pick up the win over Kane on SmackDown.
Yes.
So where does this put Kane? I think the monster was absolutely vicious tonight, and if Kane is going to stick around in the WWE, we need to see more of this game.
Yes. So we'll move right into the next match.
Exactly. This was kind of a bonus match. We really weren't expecting this. The Funkasaurus Brodus Clay versus Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler comes out to ringside, accompanied by Vicky Guerrero and Jack Swagger. And I have to say this. I mean, I can understand emulating your boss, but the hairstyles just gotta go.
Yes.
I mean, that's just absolutely horrible. I mean, I can understand looking up to the guy, you know, as he referred to himself, the Lord and Master of all sports entertainment. But, I mean, that hairstyle, Jesus. But bonus match, I do have to say, Dolph Ziggler was probably the first guy that's actually taken Brodus Clay off his feet. Yes, he had a little bit of assistance from Jack Swagger, but it was interesting to see the big man just not dominate the first 20 seconds off the rip. I mean, he definitely, there was a little bit of back and forth action before, you know, Clay got that momentum and just cleaned house.
Yes, it was definitely a great match. You know, like Brian said, just to extend onto that, not a lot of people have pushed guys like Brodus Clay and Lord Tensai very well. And the same thing as for Ryback, as we'll see later in the night as well, is these guys aren't really pushed to their limits yet. And tonight we saw Brodus Clay pushed to his limits, and it was a stellar performance by both competitors. Dolph Ziggler tried his best but could not come on top with the victory, and we see Brodus Clay pick up the win.
Exactly. I mean, Dolph Ziggler is a world-class athlete. I mean, you guys must remember the match with the Royal Rumble. Absolutely phenomenal. It's a shame that Dolph Ziggler is actually not in the title picture right now. But when you encounter a superstar like Brodus Clay, who, at face value, oh, this guy's a joke, whatever, but then you get into the ring with him, and he just absolutely dominates, you know, your mind might be changed a little bit. Then we go into the Intercontinental title match. This is determined to be a tables match during the Extreme Rules pre-show. We see the Big Show, who's the defending Intercontinental champion, go one-on-one against Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, it was a solid match up until the kind of a weird finish. We saw Big Show on the apron and kind of got pushed off the apron and fell through the table, feet first, and they basically awarded the match to Cody Rhodes because legitimately Big Show did go through the table. They didn't say how you had to go through the table. You just had to put your opponent through the table.
That is the rules of a tables match. Yeah. You put your opponent through a table or your opponent goes through a table. Regardless, Big Show ended up through the table. Shit luck for the Big Show, but Cody Rhodes is the new Intercontinental Champion. But he made Cody Rhodes eat some wood right afterwards. He put him through 2 tables. Absolutely vicious. And got a little retribution there, definitely.
Then we move into the World Heavyweight Championship match. 2 out of 3 falls. I was in a little bit of a landslide. We saw Sheamus defend against Daniel Bryan. I was not at, what's the word? I want to say I wasn't at, disenchanted with the match or the outcome. I wasn't against what happened. It was a great match. Both superstars went out there. It was a lot better than the 18-second WrestleMania opener. I think it was also kind of a slap in the face because the guys opened up last year's WrestleMania for the pre-show and went 15 minutes. Now this year they went 18 seconds on the actual card. But tonight was fantastic. We see Sheamus pick up the first fall by disqualification. Then we see the yes lock for the second fall. And then the third fall, we see Sheamus brogue kick his way to retain. And it was just an amazing all-around match. It was a war, probably match of the night.
Exactly. I do agree with what you said. And just to further on that, like JC mentioned, at WrestleMania, we saw that 18-second match. And I think the reason they did that 18-second match is for a variety of reasons, But I think the biggest one behind it is that the WrestleMania card was so star-studded.
Yes.
So not to take anything away from Daniel Bryan and Sheamus, but they would have been competing with the likes of The Rock, Cena, Punk, Jericho, Undertaker, Triple H. So by making that match shorter, you kind of had a chip on both these competitors' shoulders going into Extreme Rules, and also set up for really good television.
Yes.
I mean, this is the match everybody wanted to see, and we finally got to see it at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. So like JC said, we started off the match. The first fall was decided by disqualification after Daniel Bryan just unleashed a series of furious kicks on Sheamus.
Yep.
And then the second fall, like JC said, was the yes lock. And I really thought Daniel Bryan had this in the bag. It was pretty interesting. I mean, Sheamus was the face going into this match, and he was actually getting booed right out of the curtain. So it was a pretty interesting dynamic. It was a very interesting match. There was a lot of back and forth action. And really, in this fan's mind, I kind of questioned Daniel Bryan, the technical wrestler, versus Sheamus, who's more of a brute. I mean, he does have some good wrestling moves in his arsenal, but he is more of a brute, you know what I mean? So,
exactly.
But they played well off of each other. It was a great match, and I can't wait to see Sheamus versus Del Rio. That's the feud that's been discussed backstage since Del Rio's made his return and redebuted on the Blue brand.
So, the next match of the night, we see the newly repackaged Skip Sheffield as Ryback basically defeat, and, well, I don't even want to say use the word defeat, destroyed 2 Chicago locals in a 2-on-1 handicap match. Basically, finished them off, pinned both of them at the same time in a pile, and just basically went on and said, "Feed me more." Kind of would have liked to have maybe seen him go against like a Lord Tensai or maybe someone a little bit higher up in the card, to push him to see what he can see his limits. But
well, real quick, just want to further on that. I think it's going to be very interesting because if you guys remember back in 2002, you had 2 certain superstars, one rising on the Raw brand, one rising on the SmackDown brand. The guy on the Raw brand was the guy we'll see in the next match, Brock Lesnar. The guy rising on the Raw brand we saw earlier in the night, Randy Orton. So right now you've got Ryback rising on one brand, you got Lord Tensai rising on the other brand. Will there be a head-to-head confrontation between these 2 superstars? It would be very interesting to see. But I do agree with JC Styles. These local wrestlers just aren't cutting it. Ryback's an incredible talent. Don't get me wrong. This guy's got what it takes. And there was even a Goldberg chant during this match. Yes. And funny enough, Goldberg tweeted, he was like, Ryback ain't no Goldberg. But I think the guy has what it takes, and I think he could be a great superstar in the WWE. But the thing about it is he needs legitimate talent. Yes. Just facing jobbers every week. Opponents, excuse me. I'm sorry. But that's basically it. Sorry.
You want to take the Divas Championship?
Sure. Match? WWE Divas titles on the line. Originally it was going to be Beth Phoenix, who was the former Divas Champion. She lost her title on Monday night to Nikki Bella. And I was actually pretty impressed with the Divas match. I do have to say, on Monday night and on Friday Night SmackDown, the Divas matches have tended to be about minute 2-minute long squash matches, and we actually got to see some good competition. There was a worked injury in the match on Monday Night Raw with Beth Phoenix, and that played out tonight at the pay-per-view. We did not see Beth Phoenix compete. Nikki Bella ended up going against a mystery opponent who turned out to be the returning Layla. Layla came in, she took care of it, and she became the new WWE Divas Champion. Rumors going around backstage is the Bellas have not re-signed their deal with WWE, and they'll actually be exiting the WWE as of tomorrow.
Yes.
Same day as the Rated R Superstar Edge.
Definitely a good match. Nice to see Layla return, coming back off her knee injury that she sustained last year. Moving on in the show, we saw the best in the world versus the best in the world. Again, we saw in a Chicago street fight, Chris Jericho versus CM Punk, the defending WWE Champion. And this match was great. We saw CM Punk's sister and mother sitting ringside. At one point, we saw Jericho taunting Punk's sister, and we see Jericho get slapped. And it was a fantastic match, like I said. And Punk, we saw Jericho try to attempt to go after Punk's sister. Punk jumped all over Jericho. We saw Punk do a Shane O'Mac / Macho Man elbow drop through the Spanish announce table, and basically just onslaught match, great match. We see CM Punk retain the WWE Championship. Now, what does this mean for Chris Jericho?
Exactly. What does this mean for Jericho? There's a lot of rumors on the internet. We already know that he's confirmed that he's going to be playing with Fozzy, but the rumors on the internet that Jericho's original deal was for 6 months. We're only in the 4th month of the year, and obviously he returned in January. So that means he's still got a couple more months in his WWE tenure. And then there was also talks that he's extended that deal. So maybe he's going to be working some dates with Fozzy and then coming back to the WWE. I don't exactly know at this point, but when we get more information on that situation, I'll bring it to you. This was a good match. I'm not going to lie, there was a lot of great spots, but I felt like these two competitors at WrestleMania, it was just a little bit better. Don't get me wrong, this was a great match. They put it all on the line tonight, but at WrestleMania, it just felt a little more special. I don't know if it's because we saw the match back-to-back, even though these are incredible competitors, and I think I could watch them every night and still enjoy them, you know what I mean?
But I think what it was is because at WrestleMania, it was a wrestling match, and then at tonight, it was a street fight. So I think that's the reason why a lot of people have that kind of a mixed reaction on that match. But CM Punk still WWE Champion.
Regardless, it was a great match. I do have to say it was a great match. And then we go into the main event, the final match of the night. This is the one everybody's been waiting for. The War Machine, Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. The first time Brock Lesnar has been in a WWE ring in 8 years. Back in 2006, he was the IWGP champion and then faced Kurt Angle at some point. I think he actually dropped it to Angle.
Yes, he did.
But WWE-wise, since 2004, WrestleMania 20, he faced Goldberg, and they did not get a very good reaction in that match because both superstars were making their exit from the WWE. Tonight, there was a mixed reaction for both superstars. Some fans were behind Lesnar, some fans were behind Cena, some fans were against Cena, some fans were against Lesnar. But right off the rip, Brock Lesnar was absolutely brutal. He went in this thing like it was a pure MMA contest. Quick takedown, vicious rights, hard elbows to the face to the point. I think he hit him 2 or 3 elbows. I think it was the 3rd elbow. He actually cracked Cena open right in this region. Cena was bleeding for the rest of the match. And, I mean, Brock just completely dominated and controlled. And then Cena got control at the end. It was pretty interesting. Then Brock got control, and Cena got control. But Cena couldn't get control for more than 15 or 20 seconds until Brock just dominated. The end of the match sure surprised me. I'm going to let JC give you his thoughts. Then we'll tell you the end of the match, and we're going to get this up for you guys so you can leave us your thoughts on the pay-per-view.
Yes, I think that Brian said it best himself. I think the match was phenomenal. It was definitely a back and forth. A lot of people thought that it was going to be a wrestling match. I knew going in that it was just going to be a fight. It was going to be Brock doing what he does best, and that's just bullying and dominating. Especially, he showed a lot of his MMA skills in the ring. He also locked in a Kimura, which is a very unique, legitimate submission that is used in the MMA field. And it was just a phenomenal match.
Not to interrupt you, but I'm sure a lot of guys remember when Daniel Puder locked Kurt Angle in the Kimura lock on SmackDown, which was actually legitimate. And if he held it in a little bit longer, he would have done serious damage to Kurt Angle.
This match just was really great. I don't have anything to say bad about this match on both parts, and you know me, it's very hard for me to give credit where credit is due for John Cena in the ring. Like I said, I respect everything that he does outside of the ring, but when he steps in those ropes, I really do not like the guy. But tonight, he showed me that he can go in there and he can wrestle and he can fight and put up a fight, and he did that. And we see him get one good punch in with the steel chain, which led to Brock Lesnar's downfall and the win for John Cena.
Exactly. John Cena hit him with the chain, picked him up for the AAA, landed him on the steel steps, 1, 2, 3, picked up the victory. Very, very surprising in my opinion. I pretty much went into this pay-per-view, I'm going to be completely honest, I just automatically assumed Brock Lesnar was going to win. Did I exactly want to see that happen? Did I want to see John Cena lose back to back? You see, I'm wearing a John Cena shirt. I like the message, never give up. And I think that's what John Cena did tonight. Am I the biggest John Cena supporter? No. Am I the biggest John Cena fan? No. Do I hate the guy? No. I actually, to be honest, probably like the guy a little bit more than JC does.
A lot more.
Well,
but
fair enough. But the thing about it is, I just want to get to this point. We get to choose what wrestlers we like. That's what makes the WWE and sports entertainment wrestling so great. But at the end of the day, just respect these athletes, guys. I mean, we're just two kids from Connecticut, but in our honest opinion, these guys go out there, they put their necks on the line, and they do everything they possibly can to entertain us. Now, if a guy went out there and put on a piss-poor performance, we're wrestling reviewers, we're going to say that.
Yes.
But all these guys on this card tonight went out there and gave it their all. Even the 2 local wrestlers from Chicago who got the living shit beat out of them by Ryback went out there and they showed heart.
Yes.
And that's the same thing JC said about John Cena. He showed heart, and when a wrestler shows heart, he deserves our respect, like the character or not. And I think that's exactly the point that JC drove home, and hopefully I just drove home with what I said. I enjoyed Extreme Rules.
Yes.
What's your final thoughts?
My final thoughts, I'd give it a 2 thumbs up. It was a great, stellar performance by all superstars involved, and a great follow-up for the biggest stage of them all, WrestleMania 28. Can't wait to see what's going to happen tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw between the confrontation with Brock and Cena. I know that Brock
is scheduled.
So let's see what happens. Guys, closing out this video, please check out us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Please check out the official website of the Effin' Brand at FightNationWrestling.com. And for that being said, I'm JC Styles.
I'm Brian Crazy. Thank you for watching, guys. Thank you so much for being loyal fans and subscribers. And please check out our Q&A promo vid and leave your questions. Me and JC Styles will be back later in the week to produce that video. Either on, I would probably say early on right now, either Tuesday or Thursday of this week. I have to get together with him and we'll try to hammer out a time. But guys, thank you for checking this out. Please leave your questions and also leave your feedback on this video, and we'll catch you later with a Monday Night Raw review.